Imagine a life with less clutter, a home that's clean, organized, and free of distractions. Pretty nice, right? But the truth is, the benefits of minimalism actually go way beyond just a tidy living space. I've been a minimalist for around 8 years now, and in this video I wanted to share with you all the ways that it has transformed and changed my life, and how it has the potential to do the same for you in ways that you might not expect. By the end, you'll see how these 5 phases work together, step by step, to transform not just your space, but your entire way of living. Let's start off with awareness. And the first building block we will add there is discovery. This is the part where you encounter and hear about minimalism for the first time. Maybe you hear about it from a friend or see a YouTube video, or maybe you're just feeling so cluttered or overwhelmed in your life that you make a Google search and there you find, okay, minimalism, there's this thing. That discovery then leads to curiosity. You start asking yourself, hey, what is this minimalism? What does this mean? What are the benefits? What I could gain from this? Maybe what I could lose if I start this type of lifestyle. And the deeper you dig, the more you will find, and that may lead to the next building block, that is revelation. It's like the blinders are coming off. You realize that life doesn't have to be filled with more to be fulfilling. You realize that I don't have to live like that, or I don't have to live like this, how I'm living right now. There's an alternative option that will most likely be even way more beneficial to me than my current lifestyle is. For me, this awareness part was back in 2016, and the discovery part was when I watched this Netflix documentary from the Minimalist that is called Minimalism, a documentary about the important things. It was actually feeling pretty insignificant when I first thought about it then, like where it could lead. I was just like, hey, this is pretty interesting, I'm curious, let's see where this goes. And now when I think of it, if I didn't watch that one day, that documentary, and find out about minimalism, I don't know where I would be right now in my life. I would probably work in a whole other industry, and I would be chasing fast cars, expensive yachts, and luxurious villas, who knows. So then this revelation opens the doors to change. There might be this moment that you realize you actually have control over your life. You don't have to live the same way many other people around you are living. You can create your own path. Without this awareness and understanding, you actually cannot make a lot of changes in your life because you don't even understand that there's an alternative way to live. So if we now look at our minimalist building, it looks something like this, and you see that there's a lot more coming. I'm not the best in these type of designs, but I thought that it will help you to understand the points better, especially at the end. Then from awareness, we move to reflection. And the first benefit or building block here is assessing. You begin to assess all areas of your life and think, what are all the possessions that I have? What are all the commitments that I have? What are the relationships or even habits that I have in my life? And are all those valuable to me or not? Are they actually important? Do they make my life better or not? And while you're doing this assessment, you start to recognize patterns. You become aware of your consumption habits, both material and mental, and how they have influenced your life. You start to reflect on your own behaviors, and this leads to a better understanding of your motivations, triggers, and patterns. You start connecting the dots between your clutter and your stress, your busyness and your lack of fulfillment. When I was in this spot, I didn't know what I wanted to actually do with my life. I was feeling pretty lost, and when I was reflecting on my habits and seeing the patterns, I realized they are not that good. I wasn't sleeping that well, I wasn't eating really healthy, I had really bad habits for like my mental and physical health, drinking a lot of alcohol, for example, just wasting my life away. And I knew that now I have to start moving somewhere, or otherwise I will be stuck here forever. So this gives you the clarity and direction, which is the next benefit. When you look at your life from a different perspective and maybe even more objectively, you start to understand, okay, I don't want to go that direction, I want to go this direction. You start to understand what are your own values and what is aligned with those and what isn't. And this helps you to create this vision for your life. And this can give you a huge amount of motivation. This reflection and evaluation gives you a sense of progress. You're actually doing something. You want to explore this further, and maybe you start to feel what I felt, that you have found this hidden secret key to actually fulfilling more intentional and meaningful life. Now you want to actually start doing things and not just think about what you could do in your life. So we move on to the next phase, which is action. Of course, here the first thing is decluttering. You start removing excess possessions, excess commitments, excess everything basically in your life, whether it's mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, social, all that. And a big part of this is decision making, which is actually a huge benefit and skill that you can learn to your life through this decluttering process. Because this requires making tough choices and really thinking about, does this align with my values? Will I let go of this more often than not forever, or will I keep it? It's a process of filtering out the noise through reflection and then judgment. I've been doing this for so many years now that the level of critical thinking that I have gained from by just doing this, maybe going through my clothes every few months, it's insane. And of course, then we get some tangible progress. This is where you start to see that what I'm doing has actually an impact. That it's not just theory, it's not just me thinking about, okay, that would be nice. You are doing it and you are seeing it. Your home is less cluttered, your calendar is more open, and your mind could feel clearer than it has in decades. And this gives you a huge sense of accomplishment. You really start to feel good about yourself and what you have done. And you know what that leads to? It's the domino effect. There's this graph that I saw for the first time like 4 or 5 years ago from a YouTuber called Andrew Kirby. It showcases that once you do one good thing, you feel good about that. And more often than not, that will lead to you doing other good things. It's really this domino effect and shows that decluttering even one thing can make a huge difference in the long run if you just let the momentum build up. But if you don't do anything, of course, it's the exact opposite, that you can go down very, very quickly. And this is where habits are built. You realize what works. What is giving you that good feeling? What is giving you that clear mind? What is removing those distractions in the best way from your life? And then you start to do those things on a regular basis. You are building habits. Once I did these habits for a long enough time, I moved from the action to intentional living. In this phase, for me, the first benefit I think was the shift in identity. I was really starting to think that, okay, now I'm a minimalist and it has become who I am and how I move in the world. And even though I don't really like to put certain labels in my life that I am this and I cannot be that, this helped to clarify a lot of processes in my mind and a lot of decisions that I would then make. I think it's the same as in smoking. I have heard that people who smoke and want to quit, it's much easier when you shift the identity to I'm not a smoker, rather than just thinking that, okay, today I wish that I will not have a cigarette. So I started to make less and better decisions. We make around 35,000 decisions in a day. And you can imagine and probably know that towards the end of the day, we don't make so good decisions anymore. The self-discipline isn't anymore there. We start to get this decision fatigue. That's why they put the candy and the sweets next to the checkout in the supermarkets, because they know that we will run out of the capacity to make good decisions after we have been in the supermarket already for 1 or 2 hours, making so many different decisions on what we want to eat this week or next week. And here, life starts to get really exciting because you are making less decisions, you're using less brain power, and you are making better decisions. Your life is just becoming better and more peaceful all the time. For me, it really led to emotional liberation. As I let go of these possessions and obligations, I released the mental and emotional weight that came with them. I started to feel lighter and more in control of my life. I started to have more time for my loved ones, time for my hobbies, more peace of mind, and I started to feel better than ever in my life before. When you feel emotionally amazing, what that leads to, it's increased energy. I remember before I used to feel so drained in the afternoons. I was just watching, TV series, TV shows. I had no energy left to do anything in my life, not even hang out with friends or do some fun stuff, because I was so drained from all the things that I had in my life, and of course not sleeping enough as well. Making good decisions and feeling great, that means improved finances. By living intentionally and stopping to buy things that I definitely didn't need, that of course means that I am saving money, which started to give me this financial security, that I'm feeling that I don't have to count every penny anymore. Then authentic connections. I prioritize more time to the people of my life, and especially to those people that I feel I want to have in my life. And that's an amazing combination, nurturing those relationships that give you that good feeling. So instead of spreading myself too thin and trying to hang out all the time with everybody, which is something that I did in my past, now I started to just go deep with these people, and I really feel that that took my kind of the social area of my life definitely to the next level. And what all these things combined give you confidence. I was really proving to myself that I can live with less and I can change my life. I can have the control. You may also start to feel like you're living a life that is authentically yours. It's shaped by your own choices, your own priorities, rather than societal expectations or pressure to keep up with others. And this confidence is not just being confident about being a minimalist, that you can do this. This is for everything. When you are having social interactions, when you are giving speeches, when you are making YouTube videos, when you are solving problems in your life, when you have this track record of you can do it and you can make good decisions, you got this. Of course you feel that you are confident. Of course you have that sense of self-esteem, self-worth and self-confidence in there. Then from there we move to sustaining minimalism. Here's the first skill and benefit I learned was to do these regular check-ins, consistently checking in and asking myself, am I on the right path? Am I doing things that are aligned with my values? Am I buying things that are actually useful to me? You develop systems and habits that prevent that clutter from creeping back in. Adapting. Life is dynamic and so is minimalism. We always need to adapt to certain things in my life. Sustaining minimalism means that you have to constantly adapt to many things in your life. And whether you're a minimalist or not, this is a very, very important skill to have, because we are changing jobs and relationships and cities and hobbies and people that we have in our lives. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that adapting and evolution in general is what keeps species going. That's why they are still here, because they were able to evolve and adapt to the changing circumstances and environments. Then a big one, enhanced self-discipline. I think sustaining a minimalist lifestyle long-term really requires a lot of self-discipline, which then helps you to be disciplined in every area of life as well. Eating healthy, fitness, sleeping enough, using your money wisely, like so many different things. And then inspiring others. By just staying a minimalist, you don't even have to all the time talk about it and all the benefits to other people. You already inspire others. Like, I don't talk about this too much to my friends. Here on YouTube I talk about it, but not in my personal life like too much, like this deep. But still, people all the time ask me questions related to this. And I really inspire them to make more intentional and meaningful choices by just kind of being the example without even having to push them to do anything. So now our beautiful building is finished, and you may ask, what does it then symbolize? What does the height mean? And for me, it's about peace. It's about meaning, happiness, and fulfillment. For you, it could be different things, like, for example, success or creating your dream life. The higher that is, the better you are doing. I don't want to say that it's just general happiness because it's so personal for each of us. But now let's see what would have happened if I didn't become a minimalist. It would probably look something like this. Maybe I got the awareness, maybe I watched a documentary back in 2016 and reflect a bit on it, but was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just keep living my life how it is now and consume all this stuff and live my life full of distractions, because that's how I have always lived. So now if you're ready to go deeper and want to take real action, click the first link in the description to check out my course, Simple Life Blueprint. It is not just this theory, but provides you with clear practical actions, exercises and detailed workbooks to remove distractions, declutter and organize the most crucial areas of your life, and then, most importantly, build lasting systems and habits to simplify your life, regain your time and energy, and live more meaningfully. If you think you're ready to take that step, click the link below, check out the course. I would really love to see you inside. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. See you in the next one. Ciao.